Hello, this is Janet Michael. In addition to hosting The Valley Today each weekday at noon on the River 95.3, I also produce podcasts, and I'm excited to introduce you to a new podcast series in partnership with Lord Fairfax Community College. Having provided higher education and career training for the past half-century, LFCC is tightly interwoven into the fabric of the Northern Shenandoah Valley and Piedmont regions. Join me every week for conversations with current and former students to hear their funny and inspiring stories as we learn about their journey to higher education, the role that LFCC has played, where they are now, and where they plan to go. We'll also talk to current and former professors about their experiences and best memories of LFCC over the past 50 years. Get every single episode as they're released on our website at theriver953.com under the podcast tab, or you can subscribe for free in Apple Podcast, Google Podcast, on Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you listen to podcasts. Just search for LFCC Stories. Hello and welcome to The Valley Today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Tuesday as you are listening to the show today. It is, of course, Tourism Tuesday, and it is the third Tuesday of the month, which means it is Luray Page County's turn at the mic. So I am staring at Edie on the Zoom screen. Edie with the long hair is what I'm going to start calling you until it really, really is long. But good job not getting frustrated and cutting it off already.
It's been a struggle. It's been a real struggle, but I've grown to like it. Plus, it doesn't cost money to grow it out.
So how are things at the chamber? You know, we're recording this a couple of weeks in advance of when it's airing, so we're only a few days into 2021. How are things at Luray Page County Chamber of Commerce?
They're good. Business as usual. You know, we're still open 9 to 4 to the public every day, and then from 4 to 5, we're closed for cleaning. We're trucking along.
Well, I'm excited because you've got some newbies on the show today as your guests. So I'm excited to hear about who they are and what they do. Do you want to introduce them?
Today we have John and Maureen Moss from Moonshadows restaurant right here in Luray.
Welcome, both of you, to the show. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to have a conversation with me.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
So tell me about Moonshadows restaurant. First of all, where are you located?
We're located on Main Street in downtown Luray at 132 East Main Street.
And are you guys open for indoor seating? Are you doing takeout? Give me kind of a quick overview of how we can eat your food.
We are open Thursdays through Sunday nights, and we're open Saturday and Sunday for brunch. For takeout, we have outside dining available, not at this time of the year. It's too cold. But when the weather is conducive, we do have a nice amount of outside dining.
So when did you guys open the restaurant?
2017, June of 2017.
So you were still relative newbies when all of a sudden you're faced with a pandemic and figuring out a whole new way to do business.
Well, we've been lucky. First 3 months, 2 months, 2.5 months, we closed. And as soon as the governor let us have indoor dining again, we've been busy ever since. We've been lucky.
Is one of you the chef? Tell me about the food.
I'm the chef, and the food is interesting. We try to keep it interesting. We change the menu 4 times a year, seasonally, trying to use as much local and sustainable as we can. You know, unfortunately, we can't be pure local. Vegetables just don't grow in the wintertime. I try to keep it interesting. Like I said, we go international as well as regional United States cuisine. And we try to mix it up a little bit. Maybe do an Italian dish with a Asian sauce.
Maureen, do you have a favorite thing on the menu?
I am a pescatarian, which means I don't eat the usual meat, fish, and vegetarian things. So I will tend towards those. And we also have a really nice selection of vegan choices, which frequently our dining guests will let us know they're very appreciative of that because there's not a whole lot of places you can get a nice vegan choice.
And I imagine a lot of people in 2021 are making the New Year's resolution to eat healthier, and being a vegan is probably one of the healthiest ways that you can eat. So you may end up seeing even more people coming in requesting those types of options.
Yeah, and over the years, we've seen, because we've been in the restaurant business for years, we've seen an increase in vegetarian and vegan interest, as well as people actually becoming vegan and eating and wanting more of it.
So, John, you said you opened the restaurant in 2017. Maureen just said you guys have been in the restaurant business for years. Is this the first restaurant that you've opened, or have you had owned restaurants before?
No, this is the first restaurant either one of us have opened. We've always worked for somebody else. I've been a chef for 36 years, going on 40. Maureen's been in the front of the house for longer than I've been a chef.
And what made you decide to take the leap in 2017? Because it's no easy thing to open a restaurant at any time of the year.
Well, we had purchased the house, which was a rental unit, 9 years previous to that. And we actually worked on it for 9 years. We had a lot of the harder stuff done. We contracted that out. But a lot of the trim and the paint and a lot of the grunt work, Maureen and I did ourselves.
So you're contractors, renovators / restaurateurs.
Yeah. It was a process. I learned a lot doing this. At times, I was pulling wires for electricity, or I was doing some plumbing or carpentry. I laid tile. I refinished floors. So it was labor.
Well, and I can't imagine it's easy to convert an actual house into a sit-down restaurant with outdoor seating, because typically, houses have lots of rooms and there's not a lot of open spaces. Kitchens aren't usually as big as I would assume a restaurant kitchen would need to be. So you really probably had to do some finagling.
Oh yeah, we had to, the kitchen we actually added on to the building. So it's a brand new kitchen that we added on in 2017. And the smaller rooms actually work to our benefit. It gives people a sense of intimacy. So everybody's not just sitting in one huge room back to back.
So you mentioned a minute ago that you change your menu 4 times a year, and it's more of a seasonal thing. Do you swap out, say, when spring menu comes out? Is it the same spring menu as last spring, or do you try to infuse it with some new stuff every time the new season comes in?
We try to infuse it with new things all the time. A lot of the proteins, a steak or a grilled chicken or a crab cake, we'll keep on the menu for more than one season, but we'll often change the way it's served and change the preparation, change the sauces that go with it and the side dishes.
Let's take a quick break. Can you guys hang out for a little bit? We'll come back and continue our conversation after the commercial break.
Sure.
Yeah.
And Edie, I know you're not going anywhere. You're not allowed to go anywhere. You got to stay at the chamber till 4. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to continue our conversation for Tourism Tuesday, Luray Page County edition. We are on the Zoom screen today with Edie from Luray Page Chamber of Commerce. Joining her are John and Maureen Moss. They are the owners of Moonshadows Restaurant. We're going to continue our conversation with them in just a couple of minutes.
Got a financial decision to make or a goal to reach, but you don't know where to start? You've come to the right place. Introducing Quick Money Chats with the Northern Shenandoah Valley Financial Education Program. Visit tinyurl.com/Quick Money Chat to schedule a virtual chat with a staff member or trained volunteer. We won't tell you what to do, but we will give you the tools you need to choose wisely. And because Virginia Cooperative Extension is part of Virginia Tech and Virginia State, your land-grant universities, you can be sure that our information is credible and trustworthy. And you'll know that we aren't trying to sell you something. Maybe you want to improve your credit score, or reduce your banking overdraft fees, or even figure out if you can afford to buy that car. Sorting through tons of information on the internet can be overwhelming, and sometimes it can be hard to know who to trust. Schedule a Quick Money Chat and get the information you need to take action. Go to tinyurl.com/Quick Money Chat and get financial education personalized for you.
Welcome back to the Valley today. I am your host, Janet Michael. Happy Tuesday as you are listening to the show today. If it's Tuesday, it must be Tourism Tuesday, and it is Luray Page County's turn at the mic. Edie is on the Zoom screen with me today, along with her guests, John and Maureen Moss. They are the owners of Moonshadows Restaurant. We were talking in the first segment, John and Maureen, about the fact that you bought this house and 9 years later opened it as a restaurant. I had asked you during the break when you bought it whether or not you bought it with the intention of turning it into a restaurant, and your answer was yes. Did you really realize how much work was going to be involved with doing that when you bought the property?
No. I think we both thought we'd open it sooner than we did. And when we started the project, we did not have all of the funds to bring it to fruition. You know, we'd use money that we had, and then we'd wait for a while until we build up a little bit more and use that. But taking that long, I believe we did it right.
So how has the pandemic had an impact on your business? Maureen mentioned earlier that early on in the pandemic, you guys had to close completely. But I would imagine that now that you can have limited seating indoors, I think, does the current governor's order allow for limited indoor seating now, or are you only takeout?
No, we're doing both.
Okay.
We had 1 month in April where we were totally closed and instituted takeout. And we've been doing takeout ever since because there's a number of people who are still shy to come inside for dining. And this allows some of our customers that would otherwise be inside to still enjoy some of the food by utilizing the takeout option. So although takeout was not anything we had intended to do, it has really worked out and it has helped a good deal during this time. But we are open for inside dining. We've just had to, move what most restaurants have done, move their tables so they're 6 feet apart and watch how many people are in the building, etc. All of our servers wear masks. Anybody that's out near the public is wearing masks, using the normal sanitizing protocols. So we've been from the beginning trying to do everything that the CDC and the governor of Virginia recommended.
And it's interesting too. I always got a little chuckle when they would talk about the cleaning protocols that a lot of businesses and in particular restaurants were doing. And I always wondered, weren't they cleaning anyway? I mean, granted, you may be using a different type of cleaner, but I would hope that you were wiping off tables and chairs after everybody came and left anyway.
Yes. Yeah. So for restaurants, or at least in our case, it wasn't all that more demanding. We had to minimize some things. We have some tables that we utilize placemats on, and those had to come off. And of course, there's no salt, pepper, sugar on the table. So when you come in, it really looks not quite as festive because the tables are not set. And that really has made a difference. But that's what you have to do at this point in time.
Well, I would imagine too, the people that are comfortable coming in and having a dining experience there appreciate the fact that they're not going to be touching something that who knows who has been in there, like the salt and pepper shakers, things like that. I would never have even thought about until you just mentioned that. Yeah, they probably get a lot of fingers and a lot of hands on them during the course of a dinner hour.
Yep.
Edie, have you eaten at Moonshadows Restaurant?
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. I went back over the summer, and then we actually did our staff Thanksgiving dinner there.
And they've got great options for you. You're on this road to healthy living.
But yeah, they do have a lot of healthier options. Even if you don't want to go with the vegetarian option or the vegan option, they still have meals that if you're on a diet, you're not going to blow it in one night.
Maureen, Edie mentioned that they had their staff Thanksgiving there. Do you do special events, private events? I would imagine with Luray being the wedding capital of the universe that you probably get a lot of wedding traffic.
We do a lot of rehearsal dinners. And yes, there is a very good wedding industry in Page County, and frequently they're looking for locations for rehearsal dinners. So it helps all of Page County's hospitality businesses, and fortunately we have come to be doing a number of rehearsal dinners.
So, John, your seasonal menu, when do you decide that winter is over? Because you could potentially move into my best friend slot here because I am not a fan of winter. So, if your winter menu is over earlier rather than later, you could be my new best friend.
I usually go by, well, I believe this year it'll be the 21st of March. Summer menu will start the 21st of June. Fall menu will start the 21st September. The winter menu starts the 21st of December. So it usually falls on the equinoxes and the solstices.
So, as the chef, do you have a favorite season, a favorite menu season that you just enjoy making items more in one season more than another?
Summertime. In the summer, we have so much availability for fresh produce. You know, I look forward all year to fresh ripe tomato on a sandwich with basil. And I mean, just one of my favorite things to eat.
That must
Simple
be a
but
guy
wonderful.
thing. My husband is a huge fan of, he calls them toasted mater sandwiches. And you
I
mentioned
love
that
it.
you try to get a lot of your produce and things like that locally. Was that more difficult this past season, or was it easier because the farmers had more available for you to be able to purchase?
I don't think it's ever an easy thing. We used to have a farmer's market in town, but we don't anymore. And so I have to go directly to the farmers. There's a few farmers that work with me, and I'll get fresh produce delivered to the door, or I'll go and pick it up from the farm itself. So it wasn't particularly difficult, but it's never a real easy thing to do. And I have a couple of farmers in the area who are growing beef and pork, and sometimes I'll use some of their products also.
I think that's become more important to people too during this pandemic is a lot more people want to know where their food is coming from and kind of like the fact that it may have the hamburger they're eating may have come from the farm just down the road because now they're supporting you as a local restaurateur and they're supporting that local farmer. So kudos to you for making every effort that you can to try and incorporate local fresh products into your menu.
Oh yeah, it's been, I love doing it. And, you know, it's like, there's a local beef farmer here. It's Burner's Beef. And we get their burger. When we started the restaurant, we hadn't had a plan of putting a hamburger on the menu. But with the takeout and COVID, it's been a real hit.
Now, Maureen, you mentioned that you guys, and John just said it too, that you guys hadn't planned on doing takeout and you kind of implemented that because of COVID. Do you think when we're on the other side of this thing, you'll continue to offer takeout in some way?
You know, I do not know for sure. We're very happy with how it turned out now. But I think when we get to the point where we no longer have the restrictions that COVID presents, we're going to have to take a look at it and see. But for now, I mean, it really has been helpful.
Yeah, it's going to be a whole different thing when you have a full dining room of indoor seated customers and then have to add takeout to the other side of that. I think that's going to get complicated.
That would be the major consideration because we have had in the summer when it was nice and warm, we've had full house outside. People wanted to be outside, of course, and it was busy. And so you're trying to get everybody's meals out in a timely fashion and then have your takeout customers get their food as well. So that will be what we have to look at.
If I want to do a takeout order, how do I do it?
Well, we do not have the option, and I'd prefer not to have the option of ordering online. So the way we have structured it is that people will call and we'll take their order and take their credit card information at the time. So this is prepaid by credit card. And so all they have to do when they arrive to get their takeout food is to call us and then we bring it out to the customer.
So it's a pretty seamless experience.
It really has turned out to be quite easy. And as I said, it's been a great help during the COVID experience.
And you guys have your full winter menu on your website. So somebody can go pull that up, take a look at it and know exactly what it is they want to order for takeout, or if they just want to look at the menu before they come in to sit and have dinner.
Yes, it's always been on all of our menus, with the exception of our children's menu, is online always, and it changes as soon as the menu changes in the restaurant. It also changes online. So a person can always go and see what we're offering to see, do they want to dine with us? Or as you said, choose what they'd like for takeout.
Print it out and send it around the house and tell everybody, okay, pick what you want for dinner. I'm calling it in.
Yeah.
We've done a lot of that in the last 6 to 8 months. Tell me one more time before we wrap up, where are you located?
132 East Main Street, Luray.
And what are your hours?
Currently, they are Thursday through Sunday nights from 4 until 8, and Saturday and Sunday brunch from 10:30 to 2:30.
And where can I find the menu we just talked about? I mentioned it's on your website. What is your web address?
Moonshadowsonmain.com.
And do you guys have social media? Are you on Facebook, for example?
Yes, the website is linked to Facebook, so you can go to the website and go right over to Facebook if you'd like, or Moonshadows Restaurant on Facebook.
Fantastic. So Edie, when this whole thing is over, you're going to take me there for dinner, right?
Sure. You're going to pay your own way, right?
That's not what it means when I say you're taking me there.
Okay, fine.
We'll get Gina to give you an expense account. There you go.
I
I've
have
said
a
it on the
company-
radio, therefore it must be true. Isn't that how it works?
I already have a company card. I mean, technically it would be a work dinner.
We have a lot to discuss. We have future radio show
Yeah.
guests to talk about.
Exactly.
So I know it's January. It's somewhat of a planning month for a lot of the chambers that I've talked to. But if anything is going on and your regular events and things like that, what is the chamber's website for people to go check out?
Visit luraypage.com. There we have information on the chamber. We have information on all of our events, as well as a community calendar for events that our members and people in the different communities in the area are having.
And you guys are on all the social networks as well.
Absolutely.
Can you name them all? Go ahead. Let me see if you can name them all.
Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube.
Good job. What
That's
was
what
it
they
I was
pay me
calling you
for.
early on? The social media
Guru.
guru. Yeah, you're getting there. You're a guru right now. You haven't earned the last U.
I'm a gur.
Yeah, you're a gur. You're a social media gur right now.
I'm okay with that.
Well, we are going to wrap up our conversation for Tourism Tuesday. Again, it has been Luray Page County's turn at the mic. We have been chatting with Edie from Luray Page Chamber of Commerce. Joining us on the Zoom screen has been John and Maureen Moss. They are the owners of Moonshadows Restaurant. They are located on Main Street in Luray. Thank you guys for coming to hang out with me for a little bit today. This has been fun.
You're very welcome.
Thank you for having us.
I will be back tomorrow. I'll have a brand new episode of The Valley Today ready to go for you just a few minutes after noon. Meet me here then.